So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So the super boss Kizuna against Doflamingo is ending soon, so I thought I'd give a review of it and in particular discuss 3 topics. The first topic is about the increased damage potential due to more stackable buffs. The second one is the lack of debuffs in general against the super boss. And finally, also the lack of super type and what that culminates into. But yeah, first, all of the new stackable buffs. Like I hinted before the Kizuna that we'd finally hit over 100 billion. We not even got close to hitting such numbers before, but it turned out pretty fast that, yeah, I was really lowballing it. Now when we approach the end of a Kizuna, like when you see a 100 billion team, you're like, oh, that's nothing special. What about this 140 billion, 150 billion? And then you can go up to level 5 in, or max out the alliance boost and get 1.5 times extra damage, and you're well about 200 billion. And yeah, it's been quite a showcase for sure. And yeah, as I did hint, the new Robin in particular, but also versus Yamato, those two are like the main drivers of this increased damage. Nami also helps, but I feel she's more replaceable. Damage will definitely hurt without her, but you have units like Usopp and Yasop that can how do you put it? Yeah, decently replace her. But of course, Nami's Super Tandem is invaluable since it's easily the highest damage output Super Tandem in the game. Both getting a 2.25 times Super Tandem attack boost for Free Spirit and Striker, but also increasing both Robin's and Nami's conditional boost that go through full immunity by plus 0.5 at level 5. And yeah, all of these 3 probably be mainstays for a while until we start getting power creeps, but honestly I don't mind getting more big damage new stackable units like this. They just need to vary the classes and the colors. Like we can safely say that Free Spirit and Striker are in a good position, but there are a lot of other classes they can focus on, so I hope they go that route. Secondly, the lack of debuffs, and now Super Boss Kizuna is starting to turn into what I think many was hoping when we heard it was going to come. Basically, it's a mode to just test the boundaries of the game, stack as many buffs as possible, but until recently this wasn't really the case. In many Super Boss Kizuna you had to deal with a lot of debuffs. Of course, in the beginning we had a problem with like zombie abuse and such, so you always had to use zombie teams. But more recently, like, you had to deal with quite a few debuffs, and like if you look at the units you use now for Super Boss, a lot of them have like no utility. Like Robin, no utility. Yamato, no utility. Nami, some utility. But yeah, imagine if we had like 5 turns of bind to deal with together with 5 turns of attack down. Now we've had to deal with like 1 turn of bind or 1 turn of attack down or 1 turn of the spear. Usually solvable by support. Not many other stuff, some resistances that are annoying, but yeah, I really think this is the way to go in terms of Super Boss. Like, personally speaking, like I do enjoy team building. One Piece Treasure Cruise is a puzzle game for me, so I want to try and solve the puzzle, but Super Boss is another type of puzzle. It's about finding the most damage within the parameters, so I feel like you don't have to add a lot of debuffs to that, like finding the damage is a quest on its own. So yeah, I think this is the way to go for sure. Finally, removing super type was very good, not just because of Shanks. Like I think it's very fun that suddenly Quick was the best team against Sai, for example. But even bigger for me is the fact that this opens up a lot of team building. The thing is that if the boss is super type, you're basically forced to run super type on your own to counter the opposing super type. But that's not the case anymore. You can use like versus Yamato as captain and not really miss out on much. you can run 2 different superclasses, like on the team I uploaded yesterday that I got from Spidey. I use superclass Free Spirit Luffy and superclass Striker Nami. And also the versus in team I uploaded with V2 Odin, superclass Slasher, and V2 Nami, superclass Striker. Like, it's possible to combine superclasses, which is very cool. And it's not like supertype is bad, it's still optimal to have one supertype unit if it works, but it's not required. You can make a really good damage team without having a supertype. So all in all, they actually improved super bosses a lot. I can easily say that this is the super boss Kizuna I've enjoyed the most since the game mode released. And usually I don't really enjoy Kizuna in general, or super boss and such, and the main issue is, of course, as I talk about so many times, it's the box 7. It's too bad, I have no motivation. One funny thing about this super boss Kizuna though, that might get addressed in the future, is the fact that it's so easy to get to the HP cap now. Like my alliance Quick Squad, for example, we're not the most hard farming alliance, but even we can pretty easily get to level 35 and hit the cap, and HP isn't increasing after this. And like the big alliances like AF, isn't it CL, TRA, stuff like that, like they are getting so high levels, like they are well above the 100s and such, so every level they beat, they just get more and more tickets. They're going to get hundreds and thousands of tickets. And when you get that many, they are pretty decently valuable. You get a lot of CC and lobsters and such. So I'm a bit jealous about that. And honestly, like this particular Kizuna is not really a deal breaker, but it did really have me question about the future of my current alliance. If you don't know, since the start of alliances, I made my own alliance called Pig Squad, mostly with Discord friends of mine. Some members have been swapped out over the years. But honestly, I've come to learn that I'm not a good alliance leader. Like, I'm fine with people not being too hard of a grinder, but I have a hard time taking action when I feel like it's a bit too low. And especially super boss commitment has been low. So yesterday I decided that it's time for me to move on. I've been able to secure a move to one of the bigger alliances. So if we look at the... oh, yeah, this is Pig Squad. If we put at the ranking here and check the top 100, alliance, of course. It is going to be one of the top 10 alliances on this list. Which one it will be, I will reveal early next week when everything is finalized and such. So look forward to that. I'm going to be properly introducing them and everything. But yeah, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.